Hi, everybody, and welcome to Connect In. Connect In is a weekly conversation about the various or myriad ways that we can connect into our body and our heart so that we can live a heart-centered life. And what keeps us from living a heart-centered life? Our twirly mind. And twirly mind sometimes shows up in technology glitches, just life, right? And so Connect In is basically in Connect In, we just talk about different ways that you can come out of your twirly head and back into your heart. And twirly head, what does twirly head look like? Some of you may know that. But twirly head is just like when you're going, you have something deep and deep in your heart and you just want to, you desire to do something different. And all of a sudden you start hearing, that is the stupidest thing in the world, blah, 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 blah. So twirly head could be your inner critic, it could be your inner saboteur, it could be that part of you that doesn't trust in yourself. So how do you trust? How do you trust in yourself and know what's right? That is what we're going to talk about today. The way that we check in and know what resonates as true for us is by using the vehicle of our body. So here's what it looks like when we are just talking heads. Well, that's not going to work. We're just like, all you see is this head. And I'm just talking and I'm just talking and I'm not really feeling, but I'm just kind of giving you logistics and I'm just going to tell you, the sky is blue and the sky is green and the sky is purple. And, if I really wanted to make a drive tonight, then I'm going to have to get gas. And do I have enough money for gas? And do I have to get, it's just that stuff that just starts rambling on, almost like a chicken running around without its head, if you remember that expression. But you're rambling on and you're just distracting yourself from the bigger question. And generally, this is based in fear. So when you come out of your head and down into your body, you have the opportunity to connect into what your heart feels and knows is essential. You also have the opportunity to be clear and focused. And, we all have had those experiences where something comes up and you absolutely want to do it. And you get this full body yes, as I like to call it. And the only way you understand your full body yes is if you, one, are actually feeling that you are getting a full body yes. So, the mind is powerful. Our mind is really good at organizing and structuring and remembering things, although our body does remember things as well. And our mind doesn't feel. Like when we are in our head, right, we are less able to know what we're feeling. And it shows up in a couple different ways. Sometimes people just don't know where they are in their body, and those kind of people bump into things all the time, or bump into you all the time, or fall or trip or drop things all the time. Like they're not oriented to where their body is in space. Sometimes when you're in your mind, when you're in your head, you don't know that you're feeling. So I know some of you know this, but I'm a 5-element acupuncturist, which is a very Taoist, super woo-woo type of acupuncture. But it's also really about connecting you into connecting into your feelings, your emotions. And so some people will come in with pain, stomach pain, and have no, like, this, whatever this sensation is, comes completely out of the blue. And they often don't even have a sense that it comes from an emotional component. And a lot of times in five element acupuncture, um, the how I was trained is that most pain or illness comes from an emotional component. And excuse me if I just diverge for a moment to just fill in that point. So the heart, the energetic heart in acupuncture is this vessel they talk about that just allows all emotions to come through. So happiness and sorrow and fear and grief and elation, like all these feelings, right? And in this system of acupuncture, the health is when you allow all emotions to flow, right? When you acknowledge them, when you allow them to flow, and when you don't have them, when you, I will never ever get angry. Do you know people like that? Um, that never ever get angry is blocking some particular emotion. And in five element, or in all acupuncture theory, anything that's stuck creates stagnation, creates a lack of flow of energy, and then illness happens. So this is clearly a acupuncture worldview of illness. This is not necessarily a Western worldview of illness. But the reason I bring this up is because most integrative medicines, acupuncture, hands-on energy work, they all believe that emotions are also tied in. Emotions and feelings are also tied into health, growth, soul evolution, and pain. And so a lot of times when people, actually, here's a really good example. When I was younger, probably 16 or whatever, and I'm sure at that point I was having a lot of stressors about high school, etc., the social constructs of all of that. I would get anxious and overwhelmed a lot. Although anxious and overwhelmed weren't words that I used, but mostly I would be sitting at the kitchen counter just going, and if that didn't help, or if it didn't drive my mother crazy, if that didn't help, then I would start getting like a little nauseous. I would start getting claustrophobic. I would start sweating, hands, palms sweating. These are all signs and symptoms that there is something emotional going on. But if we, all of us, are living just up in our head, then we can't access, or we don't associate those emotions to what's going on. Does that make sense? And this doesn't happen to a 16-year-old girl. I mean, this happens to us all the time. I believe that we are truly instinctual, intuitive beings. And I think intuition is a um, highly developed skill of instinct. And we all have instincts. We all know when something feels right or when something doesn't. What happens is sometimes that knowing of what feels right or not can pass through the body so quickly that the mind picks it up and goes, whatever that body thing is, right? And so we have to learn to not only get out of our head, but bring our awareness not just from our thinking self, but all the way down and start feeling what's happening in our body. So when we get out of our twirly head, which means it's stuck in a loop, right? And we come back into our body, first by simply breathing and putting our feet on the ground. Then we have access to all the feelings and emotions that are there. Now, I truly believe that our body holds the roadmap for our transformation. And that comes out of me thinking about um, Taoist acupuncture concepts or acupuncture points on the body that are said to be the points, to be little pathways, little stepping stones, if you will, or pavers to your personal evolution. And it's your body and your heart that help guide you. So, just take that in for a minute. It's our body and our heart that guide us into what is true, heart centered, or as I call it, that full body yes. So, take a moment and just think about a time in your life where you really, really felt in every part of your being that you wanted to do something. Or you didn't want to do something, right? And you can't put a finger on it why it makes sense. Like making sense is all about up here, right? But why you did want to go down that street or didn't want to go down that street or did want to go and apply for this job or not this job. They're both ways that your body is guiding you. So there's that full body yes, and in some level, that full body no. It's a full body sensation that, yeah, I want to go for that, or yeah, I do not want to go for that. So take a moment and, see if you can recall any experiences in your life where you felt that. And if you want, you can go ahead and share that in the comments because I think it's super helpful for other people to understand how things feel. There are the real obvious ways. Also, there's some really not obvious ways. So, like, saying you want to, let's pause for a minute, your inner critic or your head, somehow in a really early on story decided that this is what needs to happen to keep you safe, right? Normally pre-verbal, normally not any older than 5 or 6, right? There's this pattern that is created to keep you safe. And, we are all these amazing, reflective individuals that are learning to be our brightest, best selves, to grow and evolve. And that box that our inner critic has put us in at 5 or 6 is no longer serving us. And when we grow and explore and change and evolve, that limiting belief, which is that box, right, gets pushed. And so your inner critic is like holding on by nails, trying to get you to stay in the box. And part of you knows that you want to stay in the box because that is what you know, that is what you have experienced, that is what is comfortable. But you really want to go and start this new part of your life, whether it's a relationship or a job or a career or moving. Whatever that thing is that's coming from your heart. And so your inner critic just is like, whoa, you were standing at the edge of a precipice and you are going to jump and you were going to die and blah, 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 whatever that is, right? Those of you that have this sense of being overwhelmed and anxious know what this feels like. in a heightened version. But you know what? We do this all the time, right? We know when our body is guiding us and we know when our body is not. It's more about, do we pay attention? Right? And so if we go under the assumption that our body is guiding us towards us being our brightest best self, as I like to say, our body is holding the roadmap for our transformation. How do we learn to listen to our body? Step one is to recognize that you need to come into your body. I know that sounds really obvious for some of you, and for some of you, you're like, what? We can't just think ourselves out of a box, right? I mean, there's places for that, but really to grow and transform, to overcome our personal limiting beliefs, our personal patterns, we have to come back to our body and our heart, to trust, to find our internal guidance system, or sometimes I like to call your inner guru, because all the information that we need is right here in this beautiful being that we call you. Say that again. All the information that we need is being held in this head, body, heart being. Right? And we just need to learn to access. So the first thing you need to know is when your body is giving you signals, right? Hot, cold, shivering, panting, holding your breath. This, for some people, it's this desire to bolt. There's a gazillion different ways that your body tells you what's going on. But before even that, first you need to come into your body and just notice what all the feelings and sensations that are there. Here's the thing, you don't have to change those feelings and sensations. You just need to notice. So step one into coming in to looking to your body as a guide. Step one is to know what your body is feeling. So I thought what I'd like to do today is share with you a really simple body scan, just to start getting or understanding the landscape of your body, of your heart, of your soul. So take a moment and soften your eyes. You can even close them. Get comfortable. You lie down, you can stay seated, whatever feels right for you. And breathe. Just begin to breathe. And wiggle your toes. Our energy goes where our body, where our focus goes. So if you wiggle your toes, it's actually the first step of getting out of your head and bringing your attention down to your feet. So breathe. Bring your breath into your belly, down your legs, and into your feet. And just take a moment and notice how you feel right then, right now. Now shift your awareness to the top of your head. Just notice all the feelings and sensations are there. Hot, cold, tight, aching, throbbing, lightheaded, feeling light. Notice what your skin feels like, what your ears feel like, what your hair feels like. For some of us, our hair hurts when we're about to get a cold. That's a sign for your body to say, okay, wait, take care of yourself. Right? What do your eyes feel like? The tip of your nose, your lips, back of your head. Don't fix any, you don't need to fix anything. Just keep feeling. Just notice. Kind of like coming back in and getting to know yourself on a new level. Shift your awareness down to your throat, around your Adam's apple. What do you notice here? Left side, right side, back of your neck. Shift your attention over to your shoulders. Now, shoulders, a lot of people are like, oh, my shoulders are stiff. Some of that is structural, how we're sitting in front of computers all the time, how we sit. But it's also one of those places that we hold stress. We actually hold stress at the top of our head as well. But just notice what your shoulders feel like. Is there hot? Is there cold? Is there tightness? Is there kind of fluidity and ease? What do your wings feel like? The scapula. Is there fluidity? Is there movement? Bringing all your energy and intention down your right arm into your fingers. What do you notice there? Keep your eyes soft, keep breathing. If something flashes into your head, okay, it'll be there later, no problem. If a story flashes into your head, okay, it'll be there later, no problem. What do you notice in your elbow, your wrists, your fingertips? Shift over to your left side. Again, shoulder blade, elbow, wrist, fingers. What do you notice there? Bring your awareness back to your upper chest. What do you notice in the area above your heart? Under your rib cage? Come around to your back. What do you notice in the upper and middle part of your back? Sometimes when you start paying attention to your body, you may get irritable or fidgety or be like, I gotta get out of here. That's okay. That's actually a really good sign to say that there's something that your body wants to share with you, but your mind is going, mm-mm. So for right now, don't worry about it. Just keep paying attention to your body. Bring your awareness to your lower back. What do you notice there? Into your hips. Shift your awareness over to your belly. Now come down your legs. Come down your right leg. What do you feel in your thigh, your knee, your calves, ankles, feet? Is there one place in your body that keeps trying to bring you back? Like, over here, over here. What do you notice here? Let's go down the left leg. Hips, thigh, knee, calf, ankles, feet. All you're doing is noticing. To work with your body as a guide, first you need to kind of come in and just notice what's going on in your body. And then when you are in a challenging situation, if you really can, take a moment, just come back to your body and go, where am I feeling this? It could be your belly, it could be your throat, your neck, your jaw, right? Our jaws get tight when we're holding stress. But what is that? What is that? You don't need to know the story. You just need to know what your body's leading you so that you can then begin to experience your full body yes or that full body no. Mostly, when you come out of your head and into your body, you get to experience how your body is guiding you. And that is incredibly powerful. When you allow your body to when you begin to follow your body, you're actually following your heart. So I think about the body as the kind of container for the compass, and that arrow that's always pointing true you is the heart. So the heart is actually helping you, the heart is actually guiding the body. The body is your guide, but your heart is the arrow. Does that make sense? So for this week, I invite you just to come into your body, do this body scan, maybe um, every night before you go to bed. You'll actually sleep better because of that, right? And if you get pushed or something really is heightened for you, take a moment and just notice where you feel that in your body. That's the first step of living a heart-centered life. It is the first step in evolving into your brightest best self. So if you want to learn more about this, go over to dominicelebri.com. There is a flagship program that I'm starting in October called Deep Happiness. Here's what I think about deep happiness. Deep happiness is when you are your own inner guide, when you are your own inner guru, when you can truly follow your heart. That follow your heart and be okay in all the many ways that you are you. Right? When you're comfortable in your skin and you are living a heart-centered life, that is deep happiness. So reach out if you have any questions. Share some comments below. I would love to know what it feels like for you when you connect back into your body. Great. See you next week. Thanks for watching.